AITA for refusing to sell my horse? I am not op. Original post by you, no horse throw in R, am I the asshole? New update in R, true off my chest. This was previously shared as concluded by you, quality proof. However, there is a new update, which is both shocking and also somehow predictable. Trigger warnings. Domestic abuse. Murder. Less than. Mood spoilers. Good for op but terrible outcome. Less than. An NBSP. AITA for refusing to sell my horse? The 4th of February 2022. Me, 24F, and my boyfriend, 26, have been dating for around 9 months. I've been riding horses since around 4 years old when I started taking lessons. When I was 10 I started helping out this girl at the stable with her horse lady. At 12 she told her she had to sell due to time, interest, and asked if me and my parents wanted to buy lady. Luckily for me, my parents were able to buy her and she's been mine ever since. She's my bestest friend and I love her a lot. When I started to date my BF I was very honest with the fact that my horse takes a lot of time and he was fine with this. When single I could spend like 3 to 4 hours a day in the stable, but as we started dating I cut this down to about 3 hours every other day, as this is roughly how long it takes for me to do all the cleaning, preparing food, riding. Also most of my friends are at the stable, which obviously means this is also social for me. The other days I would not ride and try to spend less time talking, which would make it about an hour. After about 6 months he told me I spent too much time at the stable and I should prioritize my relationship more, and somehow his family got involved in saying it was strange to prioritize the way I did. I wasn't comfortable with this, but I am a bit of a pushover so I agreed. At first this meant cutting down time at the stable, but it has evolved into cutting down riding days. Now I ride about 2 days a week and the rest I'm simply there to do the basics. All of this as quickly as I can because otherwise I know he'll be annoyed and pissed off for days and give me the silent treatment. I know my horse isn't really suffering from not being ridden as often as before, but I still feel very guilty that I'm always rushing around her. Then last night he told me it was time to sell lady. I laughed at him and asked if he was serious. He was. I told him no and he said I needed to start prioritizing this relationship more, and I said I've done nothing but prioritize this relationship. We argued about it and he apparently thinks I can just put her down as she's old anyways. I was furious at this and told him that was absolutely not happening and I would never sell her. He said that any reasonable person would sell or put down their horse in favor of their boyfriend. And the only reason I wouldn't is because I only hang out with other insane horse people. So I come to you, reasonable people of Reddit. AITA? Edit. So I never expected this to get as much attention as it did. I'm very overwhelmed and thankful for all your kind comments and messages. I am currently sitting with Lady in her stable crying my eyes out because this has been such a wake-up call for me. My boyfriend left to visit his family and friends in his old town earlier today before I posted, so for everyone worried, all is well for now and I will handle this ASAP. First I need to go home and sleep. Thank you all for being wonderful heart. An NBSP. Update AITA for refusing to sell my horse? The 8th of February 2022, 4 days later. Hello. I tried to update on AITA but got denied, so I'm doing it here and hoping those who wanted an update will see this. First of all I want to say thank you to everyone who commented and sent me messages. I never thought my post would get as much attention as it did. It was very overwhelming. But again, thank you for your kindness and support. Also, thank you to the people who sent pictures of their horses. All of them are very cute. Anyway, you guys were right. I don't know why I didn't see it myself, but this behavior of isolating me has been going on for a while. He would say it was strange how much time I spent with my family. That adults didn't spend that much time with their family. When I pointed out he also spent a lot of time with his family, I was imagining and exaggerating things. There was so much going on, and for some reason I didn't realize it. He would make me feel guilty all the time. For the smallest things. Me and BF didn't live together officially, because I thought it was too early. But since he had taken a job in the town where I lived for me, he convinced me that him staying here during the weeks was a good idea. I feel incredibly stupid for not standing up for myself. I am a bit of a pushover, and I guess he realized that if he made me feel guilty I would eventually give in. And I did. Just so many instances of him pushing my boundaries. Now the update. I called my brother on Saturday morning and he came and helped me pack up everything my BF left in my apartment. Then I texted my boyfriend to break up with him. Maybe I should have done it in person, but honestly, I don't want to see him again. He called a bunch before I answered. He was confused. At first he tried to ask me what was wrong, what had happened. He got angry when I told him, saying he can't believe I was breaking up with him over a minor disagreement, and when I said him wanting me to kill my horse isn't a minor disagreement, he said I must be misremembering. I eventually hung up, texted him that his things were packed and free to pick up on the first floor of my building anytime. Then I blocked him. Haven't heard from him since. I was able to change my locks yesterday, Monday. Thankfully, through mutual friends I got in touch with his ex-GF and we DM'd on Instagram. I don't really want to say everything that she told me as it's not my story to tell. But I will say I'm very happy I got out right now. This early. Since Friday when I posted, I've spent pretty much all day every day with Lady, my friends and family. I haven't been this happy in months. Can't believe it took Reddit to get me here, lol. For all those worried about Lady's safety, I too am a little worried, but it's eased by the fact that A, he never went to the stable with me, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't know where it is, and B, while I live in a country with a lot stricter gun laws than the US, the old man who owns the stable is a hunter and has assured me, with a lil wink, he will keep an eye out for any strangers lurking around. So that's all. I am safe and so is Lady. Both of us are a lot happier than we were 4 days ago, and a lot of it is thanks to all of you. So again, thanks so much for all the kindness. Edit. Horse tax. An NBSP. Reddit might have saved my life. The 16th of December 2022, 10 months later. I posted on Reddit almost a year ago seeking help and advice on a bizarre situation that happened in my relationship. At the time I was in a somewhat abusive relationship, or at least the beginning of it. I read my post back a while ago and realized how much I sugarcoated things at the time. Part of me was still in denial, I think. I didn't describe any of the aggressive outbursts, the yelling, throwing things, pushing, grabbing. He never hit me. It never got that far. But in hindsight I think that's where things were heading. Still, people on Reddit saw red flags and told me to get away. I guess thousands of people telling you something is very effective. I broke up with him that day. I never told my family that Reddit was the reasons I left that day. I still feel, bad that their concerns and warnings weren't enough to make me leave before it was too late. But random internet strangers were. I've only told my therapist sorry that you're not getting more credit IRL. Reddit folk. This week I found out that my ex-boyfriend has been arrested for the murder of his girlfriend. News travels fast between small towns. I knew he had a new girlfriend. They met fairly quickly after I dumped him. I didn't know her or who she was. Just heard it from other people. I looked up her Instagram when I found out he was arrested. She seems nice, from what little I can make out from pictures and captions. I feel guilty that I didn't track her down when they met and warned her. But when I found out he had another girlfriend, all I could think was, thank God. Then he will forget about me. Does that make me an awful person? Maybe? I don't know. And I could never imagine he would do something like this. Even now it doesn't feel real. Yes, he had anger management issues. But murder? It's just difficult to comprehend. I'm rambling. Sorry. It's been a crazy few days. But I feel really grateful to the people on Reddit. Because that could have been me if I had stayed with him. If people hadn't shaken me awake. So thank you, Reddit people. Also, fuck you, Adam. Hope you rot in hell. Middle finger, light skin tone. An NBSP. Relevant comment. OMG, I was one of those strangers telling you to get out. I remember your update and being happy that you got out and your horse was okay and protected by your friend in case he tried something. If you had tried to warn her, it would have went one of several ways. 1. She believed you and got out. Then he would be angry at you and redirect his anger back at you. 2. She didn't believe you and he would have painted you as the jealous ex trying to get back with him. And she would have had the same unfortunate fate. As so I heard her said. Do not let survivor's guilt affect you. There wasn't anything you could have done. Reminder, I am not the original poster. Op. I saw that you replied on the previous BoRU thread. So glad that you and Lady got out of there and that you are safe. I couldn't agree more with the above commenter. This is not your fault. Fucking hell. I was not expecting that update. I remember that post. Anyone who suggests killing a beloved pet for their convenience is someone I would run, not walk away from. I'm glad Oop is safe and she and Lady escaped this man. We argued about it and he apparently thinks I can just put her down as she's old anyways. I was furious at this and told him that was absolutely not happening and I would never sell her. He said that any reasonable person would sell or put down their horse in favor of their boyfriend. I said him wanting me to kill my horse isn't a minor disagreement. He said I must be misremembering. Hey, look, it's actual gaslighting. So glad she got out. It often takes an outside person to make someone realize how bad it really is. It's so difficult to tell if you're right or wrong. No reasonable person can blame Oop for not throwing herself back into a dangerous situation that she barely escaped without even more harm. I hope she considers getting involved with DV organizations. Not because she feels she owes it, but because her story is one likely to resonate with others. I'm saving this BORU for the next time I feel like go on relationships or relationship advice, and there are a dozen people in abusive relationships. Not sure if it's valid to leave. Isolating the victim is such an insidious tactic that abusers have in their tool chest. I'm going to use this post to remind people. If you feel totally isolated from your last set of friends before the relationship, reach out anyway. If the abuser burned those connections, reach out to the high school bestie or the kind former coworker. You don't even have to tell them everything, but at least go revive a connection to the outside world. Echoing Oop. Fuck, Adam, rot in hell. I've often thought of telling my ex's new GF, now wife, to run, but I knew she wouldn't believe me. He's too charming and he had already painted me as totally insane. Only thing I hope that once he gets his hands around her throat, he doesn't hit, because that's abuse, and he'd never hit a woman, face with rolling eyes. That she survives it and doesn't give him a second chance the way I did. Just for him to do it again. That he doesn't use his war injuries, his disabled war hero excuse to keep up the abuse. His anger was there before the war. He watched his dad throw his mom around, yank her off ladders. Apple didn't fall far from the tree. He was like that before the war. Angie. Barack only made him worse. He threw me into the refrigerator in front of the kids when Evan was a baby. He chased me and threw me onto the bed and screamed into my face, braced over me with his arms, bracketing me. I know you don't read this. Probably don't even know my Reddit handle. And even so, you'd still not leave because of the guilt. He's so helpless. I can't fix him. Honey, I spent 26 years trying to fix him. He doesn't want to be fixed 'cause there's nothing wrong with me. You're just crazy. I've known him since he was 17. He's always been broken. And I was too, in a different way. So I stayed. He lies to his therapists. He only takes his meds if he feels like it. He hides pills under the mattress, in his nightstand. Hell, he probably flushes some too. Or claims he forgot to take them. I know you don't believe me. And you're in denial. You were the perfect target for him. You were clingy and needy and codependent. You're his source and nothing else. There's a difference in trying to support someone who is trying to heal, and being their doormat while losing yourself. Anyway, didn't mean to hijack this. It kinda just came tumbling out of me. I don't have survivor's guilt. What she does is not in my control. I just don't like PPL getting hurt. Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. Seriously. I'm so glad she dumped him. I remember reading the first post and then the update and thinking, phew. Thank God for Reddit, but I honestly wouldn't have expected him to straight up murder the next girl. One of those true crime podcasts needs to get on this story. There was nothing she could have done for the other woman. Sadly, she would have either thought it was a jealous ex and ignored it, or told him and he would have fixated on Oop, or he could have attacked this woman for leaving. There is no knowing what someone who is capable murder would have done to her. Survivor's guilt is hard to manage. But she is so lucky so got away. OMG. I think I commented on that post, I'm so glad Op got away from him and is having a wonderful life with her beloved horse. My heart breaks for that other young lady and her family. I don't know what possesses people to do what he did. And I don't want to. I said it before and I'll say it again, that horse saved her damn life. This is why I always roll my eyes at people saying, OMG, Redditors are so dramatic, always telling people to break up. Maybe a bit. But often they're seeing patterns that have happened before to other people and are noticing dangers Op can't see yet. Oh, I could write a book titled, He Never Hit Me. It doesn't take fists and kicks to be horribly abused. Oop is a horse girl. People who want to date a horse girl, be aware that it's a thing. Everyone. Be aware that partners who try to get you to stop your hobbies are not generally good for you. Although the murder thing here is uncommon. After about 6 months he told me I spent too much time at the stable and I should prioritize my relationship more, and somehow his family got involved in saying it was strange to prioritize the way I did. He would say it was strange how much time I spent with my family. That adults didn't spend that much time with their family. When I pointed out he also spent a lot of time with his family, I was imagining and exaggerating things. This may be unfair, but I feel his family shares some blame for his behavior, actions. Oop wasn't the first GF he abused. Yet they helped put pressure on her. They seem the type to blame his victims because, if only they listened. People online vastly overuse the term gaslighting, but this is a case where he lined the dominoes up, and you must be crazy and misremembering that I told you to euthanize your horse was the first big step. As a DV survivor who went through years of gaslighting and was also choked, I'm so glad Op got out. Despite having to read between the lines of her sugar-coated description of her ex, there were so many warning signs of gaslighting. narcissism and even hints of psychopathic tendencies. No reasonable partner would expect their GF to PTS a much-loved pet which they have owned for many years, which despite being fairly old is otherwise healthy, especially when the only reason to do so is to spend more time with the partner. I'm so glad she got out when she did, or I think she would have been the one on the mortuary slab by now. Dark side of Reddit. Posters asking you for porn and sending you Rick pics. Light side of Reddit. Posters helping you realize you're in an abusive relationship and sending you horse pics. Every weakness is also a strength. People make jokes about horse girls. I don't know what those jokes are, I just know that I hear there are lots. I have heard that a horse girl will never love her partner like her horse. But this story is a great perspective from the other side. If being at the stable is what makes this chick happy and that's also where most of her friends hang out, then why shouldn't she spend most of her time there? If her dude really loved her, maybe he could have tried riding a little. I hope Oop finds a horse guy and they can hang out in the stable together. I'm very sorry that the next girlfriend of her ex, though. That's horrible.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.